I ended last year with a video talking about my favorite gear of the year, and I reviewed and tried a lot of stuff over the past few years since I started this channel. But a lot of that stuff isn't even in my possession. Some of it is within return policy of a store, other stuff I just sold. But some of you subscribers might wonder, what do I actually own at this point? So I asked my wife Gwen for some help, used the B-cam and shot some scruffy footage here in the studio basement to show you what I actually got at this point. So I still got my Marshall 1987X, and that's a Harley Benton cap with cream backs. I took the logo off not because I'm ashamed to play Harley Benton, but because I just don't like the look of the logo. And that's a Palmer 1x12 open back with a greenback speaker. And on top of it I've got my 2 notes Cap M, which I use for cabinet simulation. The guitars I have, my number 2 Les Paul, but at this point I'm not sure if it's number 1 or number 2. I switch each week. The Les Paul Junior I got this year and I upgraded. Awesome guitar. This is a recent one. The video of this one still has to come out. My Squire, my backup guitar for open tuning, for my Fender of the same kind. And my trusty Telecaster. This is a vintage modified, but by this point I took out the original wiring, which had a lot of extra switching that I didn't use, and I just made it like a standard Telecaster. And over here I got the Lion with the Loudster, which go into the cabinet and into the Cap M, or if I want to go into my interface. And this is my smaller session board, which has the HX effect on it, the page banner for Foss, the King of Tone clone, because I don't have an original one yet. I'm still on the list. I think I still have to wait about 2 years. I put an external tuner on there because I think the original tuner in the HX effects is rather annoying. So I use my trusty Korg pitch black tuner, and I got a DI on there. Which is going through the second output of the HX effects, and that's just for acoustic. So I've got an acoustic bank that just goes to the DI and then can go into the front of house. But that's something new. Maybe I will display it in the video if you want to see that. And now let's turn around to the other side. So this is usually where the drum kit is, but it's not there at the moment because we played a show with Abday last weekend. That's Gwen's stuff. So she has the Vox AC15 that I've got on my channel in the review, and her Remedy and Zilla cabinet, and those are her guitars. This is also a recent one, but more in a video about that later. This is actually my first guitar purchase of 2024, but these are the old ones. My number 1 Les Paul, I took the scratch plate off a while ago, just to try something different, a bit more of a Peter Green or Dwayne Allman or Paul Kossoff vibe, just to differentiate it a bit more from my other Les Paul. My SG, I have to be careful with this because I already bumped it into the ceiling once. I'm pretty tall and the ceiling is a bit lower. It has some damage up here, which always sucks, but once it happens, it happens. My Fender Telecaster, custom for open tuning, also very nice. And my surprise of last year, my Epiphone Firebird. And as you can see, I've put a Duesenberg LED Trem 2 on there. Looks a bit funky because it's not a vintage looking thing, but it works pretty well and I can take it off very easily, so I didn't have to drill anything for that. You haven't seen these in a while in my videos in the background, but I still got them. The Marshall SV20 head and the Dr. ZZ Rack Jr. with the Iron Man. I've got both on here because we're currently in pre-production for our new album with Nighthawker. And for some songs I will use this one mainly for everything with single coils or my Firebirds or my Junior. And all the rest is going through the Marshall. into a Zilla cab loaded with a Greenback M speaker and a Greenback H speaker, 55 Hz. And my pedals, I've got the Harley Benton talk box down here, which I don't use a lot. Also a new acquisition that still has to be showed in the video is the Foxy Tone Box by Warm Audio. And also the color driver is new, but the rest on here I've had for a while. Yeah, and I got the Space Echo last year in the summer. But I think there will be more on the pedal board later, but it has been quite the same for a long time. I just switched the delay. I used to have a way huge Aquapus on there, and I replaced it with the Boss Space Echo. And I replaced my trusty old Spark Booster from TC Electronic for this color driver, but also more on that later on the channel. And besides that, I've got my Stratocaster, which is in the office upstairs because I usually don't play it anymore, but it's my first decent guitar, so I'm not selling it or anything. And I've got my 2 acoustics upstairs. But besides that, that's my gear to start the year 2024. And yeah, stay tuned for more in-depth videos of some of the things I showed you. So that was a quick and dirty rundown of most of my gear and also a little preview of stuff that's coming. Because I have shot a lot of videos in advance over the past year. I think I have about 15 videos in the queue at this moment. But this is just a little something extra for the subscribers that would like to see which gear or what gear I actually own at this point. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a viewer that isn't subscribed yet, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next time.